Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, where you can watch, decide, and ride. In this video, we're going to break down a new product for Spidi for 2012. This is called the Net Force. Now, the Net Force is a 3 to 3.5 season jacket built for touring, adventure touring, long distance touring. It's going to be waterproof, breathable through a H2Out liner that's removable. It also has a detachable full sleeve thermal liner. But the claim to fame, or my favorite thing about this jacket, is that it's going to perform really well in the warmer times of the year, as you can see by these Schoeller Dynatech mesh panels. Now, the beauty of the Schoeller Dynatech mesh, as it compares to some of the other meshes we see from a lot of manufacturers, is it's really high grade stuff. It's built into this jacket in a manner that's going to be away from impact areas, and then it has a high abrasion resistance to it, much more so than basic mesh you see in a lot of other garments. So your outer shell has the air conditioning turned on at all times. That's going to get you through the summertime. Now, when it starts to get a little cooler, early spring to mid-spring, mid-fall, early fall, you'd put that waterproof, windproof H2Out liner in it. And then when it gets really cold, you're going to put that thermal liner in with the full sleeves and have both those liners internally. But the thing you have to keep in mind here is you can never turn that air conditioning off. So even though you have those channels or those barriers on the inside to stop the wind and the elements, you still have that external barrier that's going to have that wind coming through it. So I like to think, when I think about a mesh jacket, we have a few that have done similar things from a functionality standpoint. You're never going to go as deep into the cold range of the year when you have a jacket that has a non-mesh exterior. So if we look at outside of these Schoeller mesh panels, you're going to have 10X and 10X Flex making up the rest of the garment. So 10X, which is proprietary, Spidi, high tensile strength, high abrasion resistance fabric in impact areas. You're going to have 10X Flex in some of the stretch panel areas that need to move with you, like around the shoulder blades, under the arms, but you have a good amount of coverage. From a CE armor standpoint, you're going to be using Force Tech armor from Spidi, so shoulders, elbows, forearms, and this is what the Force Tech looks like. It's a step up from their multi-tech. It's going to be CE rated. It's nice and beefy. It's very comfortable. This is a shoulder that I have here that we pulled out. This jacket, the Net Force, will actually take the Warrior chest system. It'll also take the Warrior back insert. You could also wear the Warrior Evo, which is a standalone back protector as well. Now, getting into some of the nuances, you're going to see a lot of pockets here on the front. They're not waterproof pockets. They're going to be water resistant. But here at the neck, moving up here to one of the comfort features, is you have the EST control system. Now, we've seen different manufacturers, and turn a little bit cheat that way for me, Joel. We've seen different manufacturers using a sliding snap here. I actually really like this system because what it does is it uses this little Velcro backed bug that's rubberized, that's not going to wear out or move on you, and you're basically going to plant it where it's going to make sense for your neck, and you really don't have to move it again unless you're removing some of the liners. So it's one of those things where you set it and forget it. A lot of times with that slider, sometimes it can move on you, and I'm a fan of this one that's going to stay put but still be adjustable. Moving down, we see YKK zippers, Fiocchi spring-loaded snaps, which we see in some other high-end textiles that we sell here at RevZilla.com. And when we open this up, and again, towards the end of this video, we're going to break this jacket completely down, but you're going to see the H2Out liner, which is actually meant to be worn as a standalone liner, and we have it completely integrated into the jacket right now. So let that guy hang as it be. Turn sideways for me, Joel. Moving up from that EST system, you're going to see the mesh line neck roll that's wicking and very comfortable. It's nice and high here on the back. We talked about the armor. There's also reflectivity here in the sleeves, and you also have adjustment both at the forearm and the bicep. Turn backwards for me, Joel. More Schoeller Dynatech mesh. Adjustment here down across the backs of the hip and the waist. And again, the reflective logo, it's 3M Scotchlite. The Spidi logo is really going to pop when it gets hit with any car lights. And notice that we have that 10X flex panel. Hit the race position for me, Joel. Stretch a little bit so you can see how that's stretched. And that's put in a spot that needs to move with your body for flexibility. Everybody's a little bit different from a size standpoint. Come back around for me, Joel. Now, getting into size, Joel's wearing a size large. Joel's 5'10", 180, 41-inch chest. Joel's wearing a large. I wear an extra large in this jacket. I'm a little bit broader than Joel. But what jumps out at us is that the textiles from Spidi, true to form, all fit about a size small. So if you're on the cusp or you're in the meat of that size range, you're probably going to almost want to go up a full size to make sure it fits you. And I will tell you, too, that this has adjustment down here on the forearm, so it's a little bit more generous. But some of the Spidi jackets that don't have the forearm adjuster are actually a little bit narrow from the elbow down as well. So now that we have Joel out of the Net Force and I have it here on the table, I'm going to walk through some of the nuances and break it down from the inside out. I already showed you what some of the armor looks like, but what you haven't seen yet is really up close and personal on the different layering systems that are built into this jacket. So before I get to that though, And you can see here how this H2Out liner is integrated. I want to mention, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, that you can install the Warrior chest protector very easily. It's a standalone piece that you buy separately, but it's very easy to use. You know, we've seen Alpine Stars come out with chest protection. We've seen Dainese come out with chest protection. We've even seen it in Climb. And Spidi's is a very simple system that just snaps right in. To get in and out of the jacket, you'd really only have to unsnap one side. But it basically snaps right in, and it's good sternum and chest protection. Now, they don't rate chest protectors on a CE scale. There's no standard for it, but it's using the same Warrior armor that's proprietary to Spidi that they use in their insert back protector, which is CE level 1. So it snaps very easily in and out. Chuck that guy. So as I start to break this down now, here's my H2Out liner. The H2Out is the waterproof breathable factor. This is, you know, the outer shell is going to have a coating, but with this mesh, if you get hit in a rainstorm, the water's going to make it through. You need this layer to keep you completely dry and allow your body to breathe. So how it works and how it's integrated is we have 2 snaps here on either side, and this lining, which can be worn standalone, can also be purchased separately, and it will be able to be integrated with some other jackets as well. I've already done the left side. Let me show you how it integrates here on the right side. So it's a single snap with a nice big non-elastic loop, because anytime you stitch elastic, it becomes weaker, and that's stitched here on the inside. It's very easy to find. And with that done, and then there's a single snap up here as well. Whoop. Reaching for it. It's actually not a snap, it's Velcro. This whole liner comes right out. Now I'm doing this one a little bit backwards today because I want to show you what this looks like as it's a bit bulked up. You show it what it looks like on a person, but this has the thermal liner in it as well. And typically you could remove one or the other. You can install them both independently, but notice there's a slight ripstop to this garment as well. You can see that this outer shell is meant, even if you get a puncture in it, it's not going to keep running on you. That's what ripstop means. Here's my 200-gram thermal insulation. Key points to point out here: fleece along the neck for the colder times of the year. That's a nice touch. You do have a pocket, and you don't have any insulation, as we've seen in all the Spidi garments when you break them open, around the armpits. Armpits always run hot on everybody, and typically, if you're a person that runs really warm all the time, you could actually overheat if you don't have any breathability for your armpits to radiate heat out. So I'm going to uninstall this from our waterproof shell. And one of the first things you're going to notice is that when I do that, you're going to see this silver color. This is similar material on the outer shell of the thermal lining that you'd see on a shock blanket. And what it does is it's dual-sided, and any heat that radiates out through that insulation away from your body is going to bounce off this outer layer and bounce back in, or have a better chance of being trapped. So it's an efficient thermal lining. And it's actually the upgraded lining, because something like the Voyager H2 or the Voyager 2 is not going to have the aluminized shell head on a thermal. We see it in the Alutech, and it's on one of the other winter gloves from Spidi as well. So I've snapped out from the inside. My left side should be already unsnapped. I'm going to double check it. It is. My right side is going to be a single snap. I'm going to pull it out here. I'll show you. Single snap. And now it should come right out. Here's my thermal lining. Notice it's finished here on the back. It has aluminum, or it has elastication, so it's going to be comfortable. Not meant to be worn standalone, but can be worn on the inside of your H2Out garment, which is ripstop, and what I would consider a destination layer. And one of the things that Spidi is really big on is the durability of this H2Out liner. So if I grab this and I really pull on it, I'm a pretty strong guy. I'm pulling pretty hard on that. I wasn't able to stretch that in any way, and that's something that, you know, when you get out of the premium realm of textiles or all-season textiles, sometimes you see the knockoff Gore-Tex, or you see I hate to say knockoff Gore-Tex. Gore-Tex invented the waterproof breathable membrane. And what we see is some of, you know, we've seen Revit, Alpine Star, Spidi, they all have their own version of this Gore-Tex waterproof breathable membrane. But as you go further down the food chain to some more price point items, sometimes you can get these that you can actually stretch and you can actually pull. And that's not a good thing. And I'm not even talking about it against the seams. I'm actually talking about the layers as well. So here's my thermal, or my waterproof breathable. As we break open the rest of the coat, you see a light mesh on the inside. We have our connectors for our groin connectors here. We have elastication across the bottom. Here are connectors for our Warrior chest. And then you have your back insert panel. So this will take the Warrior back insert, which is CE level 1 for back protectors. You can also wear the Warrior Evo, which is standalone, which is CE level 2 with this jacket as well. And the pockets for the armor are very accessible. We talked about the Force Tech. And again, YKK zippers, Fiocchi spring-loaded snaps. Again, some of the nicer features here on the Net Force, but you're talking about around a $600 garment. And this is going to be one of the most versatile all-season garments that's really geared towards hot weather. Or it is the most geared towards hot weather that has an all-season component here in the Spidi lineup. So we want to hear what you think. Leave us a comment on Facebook or on YouTube. Like it or dislike it. We want to know what your reaction is, or if you're riding in the Net Force, what your experience has been like. Also, please subscribe to us on RevZilla TV on YouTube if you like the gear reviews that we try to produce every week as we see the latest and greatest and test out the new gear as we progress through the seasons here at RevZilla.com. As always, shoot us a line. See us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455 with any questions. And the Net Force is over $39. We'll ship for free, exchange for free, send it back with no restock fee if you just don't like it, and you can earn TeamZilla cash on it to be applied to your next order as part of our loyalty program. Thanks for watching our detailed breakdown of the Spidi Net Force. Really 3.5 season, all-season jacket geared for hot weather riding, available at RevZilla.com/Spidi. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.